and it's me, your educator Jyoti. In this lecture, we are going to talk regarding the gram staining technique. This lecture will be mainly in English and also it will be available in Hindi. So first of all, if you talk about the gram staining, so obviously it is a laboratory based technique, and this particular technique is mainly used to distinguish between the two group of bacteria. One is known as a gram positive bacteria and another is known as a gram negative bacteria. So if we perform a gram staining, we can the final result will able to tell us that whether the stain or the stain which we are using for our experimental purpose is that bacteria is belonging from a gram negative group or it is from the gram positive group. So before proceeding with the gram staining technique, we first have to understand that what is this gram positive and gram negative bacteria and why we used to get the different type of result, and what does this name, that is gram positive and gram negative, signifies. Fine. So first of all, this staining technique, it was given by a bacteriologist, that is the Hans Christian Gram. Okay, and he has developed this technique to differentiate between the two bacterial species, that is gram negative and gram positive. So if we differentiate between the gram negative and gram positive bacteria, so first of all, the gram positive bacteria, they are having a cell wall and it is made up of thick peptidoglycan. Okay, so there will be a thickening of peptidoglycan. And if we talk about the gram negative bacteria, in that case there will be a thin peptidoglycan layer. Fine. And also there is one additional layer which is known as a LPS, that is lipopolysaccharide. What is this lipopolysaccharide? From the name only we can easily able to say that there is a existence of lipo means lipid, polysaccharides means sugar. So the outermost layer of the gram negative bacteria, it will be consist of a for the composition of lipids and polysaccharide, that is the sugar. This LPS, it is mainly used to act as a endotoxin. Okay, it mainly used to act as a endotoxin and it is consist of lipid and polysaccharide, which is also known as a sugar. Fine. Whereas the LPS, it is absent in gram positive bacteria. There is only a thick peptidoglycan layer present, but if we talk about the LPS, it is absent in gram positive bacteria, but it is present in gram negative bacteria. If we talk regarding the teichoic acid and lipoteichoic acid, it is present in the gram positive bacteria and they mainly used to function for maintaining the integrity of cell wall in case of a gram positive bacteria. But in case of the gram negative, teichoic acid is absent. If we talk about the periplasmic space, it is mainly present between the cell wall and the cell membrane. So it is mainly narrow. That means the overall, if you talk about the space that is the space occupancy, so it will be narrow, that is the periplasmic space in case of a gram positive bacteria, but in case of a gram negative bacteria, the periplasmic space is extensive. So this is a two difference, or you can say that these are the differences between the two strain of bacteria, that is gram positive and gram negative. So why we used to give this name, that is positive and negative? Because the experiment which we will be performing, this experiment is known as a gram staining. So the gram positive bacteria, it will give a positive result for the gram staining, and hence the name has been given, that is gram positive bacteria. Whereas the gram negative bacteria category, they are not going to give the positive result for the gram staining, and that is why the name has been given, that is the gram negative bacteria. If we talk about the final result, the gram positive bacteria, it will appear either, that is purple or blue, you can say, in the last stage. When we will observe the observe the last stage or the last interpretation, when we will do, at that time we will see that there is occurrence of purple or blue color bacteria. Whereas in gram negative bacteria, the final result will be in the form of a pink or that is red color. So these are the minor differences between the gram positive and gram negative, but because of these 2 points, that is the thickness of peptidoglycan as well as the presence or absence of LPS, these are the two factors which are responsible for this differential stain. That means there is a difference in the stain. So let's see how we mainly used to do. But before moving to that, let's understand the gram positive and gram negative bacteria on the basis of pictures. So you can see this is a gram positive bacteria, right? The first example is the gram positive bacteria. So the outermost layer is known as a peptidoglycan and it is very thick. If you can see this is very thick. And this blue colored zone, it is a periplasmic space, whereas this green colored zone, it is a plasma membrane. So if we talk about the gram negative, you can see that the innermost area, you can see this is a plasma membrane. After that, this is a blue color area which is represent the periplasmic space, and that is this brown color area which is very thin in this particular picture. It is representing the peptidoglycan, and the outermost external layer, it is known as a lipopolysaccharide. And in this way we can see that yes, there is some difference between the gram positive and gram negative bacteria. One more elaboration has been done here. You can see this two picture. This is a picture of gram positive bacteria where you can see that there is a presence of a lipodecoic acid, and the thickness of peptidoglycan cell wall is very high, as well as this is a plasma membrane. But if we see this gram negative bacteria, we can see that this is the outer membrane, then there is a very high periplasmic space. After that, this is an inner membrane, and in between you can see this particular area. Okay, this is known as what? That is thin layer of peptidoglycan, right? This is a very, you can see the single layer, whereas you can see here that there is a presence of multiple layer of peptidoglycan. So that is why we used to say that in case of a gram positive bacteria, the thickness of peptidoglycan is very high as compared to the gram negative bacteria. And last, this is a final layer or the outermost layer which is known as a lipopolysaccharide, which is mainly present in gram negative bacteria but not in the gram positive bacteria. So in this form we have seen that what is exact difference between the gram positive, gram negative. One more picture is there. It is also giving you a clear-cut idea that how we can distinguish both of them. This is a cytoplasmic membrane. Again, this is a peptidoglycan which is very thick in case of a gram positive bacteria, whereas it is very thin in case of a, that is your gram negative bacteria. This is the outermost layer which is composed of a polysaccharide, which is mainly absent in case of your gram positive bacteria. Okay, so now the question is why we perform gram staining, right? Because if you are studying this technique, we should be having an aim that why we need to study this. Because suppose you have been provided with a sample, okay, and this is having a culture media. You don't know what kind of bacteria are there in this particular culture media. So first of all, you need to understand, or you want to characterize this bacteria. First of all, you have to know that whether they are belonging from gram positive group or gram negative group, and for that you start doing that is the gram staining. Okay, this gram staining will give you two results. The final result, either it will be in a purple form or it will be in the pink form. So by observing the final result, you will understand that if you are getting a purple stain, that means your particular this tube or your sample is having a gram positive bacteria. But if you are getting a pink color stain under the microscope, you will say that this particular media is having a gram negative bacteria, right? So in this way we used to say that what actually we are going to get after the gram staining, and it will help you in the very initial step when you are going to work with any stain which is totally unknown to you. Okay, so here we are with the different process that how the gram staining is performed. So first of all, the two bacteria, like it has been mentioned here, this is a gram positive and this is a gram negative. So first of all, you will be provided with a particular media, right? So suppose you have cultured this bacterial bacterial stain, and after that you will be taking one drop of this culture on the glass plate. Okay, and after that what you need to do, you need to heat fix it. Okay, heat fixing and air drying. These two techniques will help you to fix the overall sample on the glass slide. And after that, what we are going to do? So heat fix is done for both the bacteria. Okay, so both the bacteria, the heat fix is done. After that, we are going to apply a crystal violet agent. What is this crystal violet? Crystal violet is termed as a primary stain. What is the primary stain? Primary stain is acting as a dye. Okay, it will be going to stain the overall cell in a purple color. So after treating the crystal violet with our sample or with the glass slide, all the slide will convert into the purple color, and that is why it is known as a primary stain, because we are using it in a very initial step. So crystal violet, we are staining this particular sample with the crystal violet, and it has been done, and after that we will apply a grams iodine. What is grams iodine? Grams iodine is a mordant, okay, that is going to make a complex with the crystal violet, and it is going to fix the primary dye inside the cell wall of the bacteria. So crystal violet has been already applied, and after when we apply the grams iodine, it is going to fix the crystal violet by making a complex with that, and finally it will become, the primary dye will become fixed inside the cell wall. And the next step will be the alcohol treatment. So after this we will treat the cell with the alcohol, and after treating with alcohol, as because alcohol is acting as a decolorizer, so we know that the gram positive bacteria, it is having a thick peptidoglycan as compared to the gram negative, which is having a thin peptidoglycan. So what actually happens when the grams iodine and crystal violet was making a complex, that complex was fixed in a very, you can say that, in a very complex manner, and that was somehow can easily able to resist the decoloration step. So the gram positive bacteria, it just resists the decoloration, and that is why it just retain the overall color. There is a no loss of crystal violet color. But in case of the gram negative, as because it is having a thin peptidoglycan, so the complex which was formed with the help of a grams iodine and crystal violet, it was not that strong that it could resist the decolorization, and hence the cell become decolorized. That means they have lost their color which they have gained in the initial 2 steps. And after that there will be application of a safranin, which used to act like a counter stain, and this safranin is having a dark pink color. So when we are applying the safranin, obviously this gram positive bacteria, it is having its own initial color, so it is not going to gain any other color, because it is not having anything to again color its form. So that is why it is going to resist the safranin application. But whereas the gram negative bacteria, it is not having any color in its cell wall, and hence it is going to accept the safranin, and this particular bacteria, that is gram negative group, it is going to show the pink color. And in the last step we are going to get the, that is this is a purple color and this is pink. And we can say that if the stain is appear to be pink, that is under the microscope, we will conclude that this stain is having a, that is gram positive bacteria, and this particular sample or stain is a gram negative bacteria if it appears pink under the microscope. So these are the functions of different reagents which we use, that is the crystal violet, grams iodine, alcohol and safranin. So that is what mentioned here. That is, after staining with a basic dye, typically a crystal violet treatment with ethanol decolorizes a gram negative but not the gram positive cell. Following the counter staining with a different colored stain, typically safranin, the 2 cell type can be distinguished microscopically by their different colors. So that is what we have just explained with the help of this particular diagram. Okay, this is once again a very good picture you can see here. First of all we have to prepare a slide, then we can add a smear, and again we can do the air dry or heat fix, both we can perform. And next we have to perform the normal step, that is first we have to add a crystal violet, then that is your grams iodine, then alcohol, and after that is the safranin, and hence we can observe under the microscope. So this particular method or this technique can be performed in total 3 steps, that is preparation of smear, then heat fixing and staining, and last is the microscopy technique. And if you want to discuss in detail, so the first step will be what, that is we need to apply, that is the crystal violet for 1 minute. Okay, so this is a detailed discussion how the gram staining like how the gram staining used to work, or what is the principle behind gram staining. So first of all, we used to treat these cells with the crystal violet, and we will keep the crystal violet, and that is the, like, there should be a connection between the crystal violet and our sample for the 1 minute. After that, we can wash it with the normal water, and then we can add iodine, and again the duration will be for the 1 minute. So after crystal violet, all cell will appear purple, and after the treatment of gram iodine, again all cell will appear purple. But in the third step, when we used to add a decolorizer, which is alcohol in this particular case, and this we will be adding for the 20 seconds. Okay, make sure if we do the prolonged decoloration, there is a highest chances might be the gram positive bacteria will also lose. But this is again like, you know, a type of a condition which we can imagine when we mainly used to do like, you know, like the experiment, if it is not going in a proper direction, that we can, then we can assume that might be we have decolorized the sample for a very prolonged time. But maximum time, when we used to keep it for 20 to 25 seconds, the decolorizer, it will decolorize the gram negative strain, not the gram positive, because gram positive is having a very thick peptidoglycan, and that has just encaptured the whole complex of iodine and crystal violet, and that is why it is not going to, you know, lose its color. So that means it is just resisting the decolorization step. But in case of a gram negative, they are just accepting the decolorization, and hence it is losing its whole color, because it is having a very thin peptidoglycan, and that was not able to capture or keep the, that is this iodine and crystal violet complex intact, and hence they just lose its overall color that was again in the initial 2 step. In the 4th step, you can see after adding the saffron in, the gram negative bacteria, they have gained the pink color, but in case of a gram positive bacteria, they didn't. Okay, so this will give you the result that whatever the strain which is appearing, like which is appearing in a pink form, that is a gram negative strain, and the other one, that will be a gram positive, which used to appear purple inside, like under the microscope. So with this, we are done with the gram staining. So I hope you find this video useful. Do hit the like button if you like this video, and if you have any suggestions or query, you can ask me in the comment section. So thank you so much everyone.